If you've decided to follow along with me in the referral system training I'm doing in my family time meeting, then you will know that this week on Monday, because of technical problems, I couldn't record the session. And so I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask, did I record it? Can they get access to it? The answer is no. So what I've promised to do is to reshoot a short video just going over the kind of homework or the next piece of the puzzle that I taught on Monday. So here we go. Just as an aside, if you don't know what family time is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, family time is my team meeting. So I've got a team of 840 agents around South Africa, and we meet every 2 weeks on a Google meeting. And I have decided about 2 meetings ago to begin teaching through my referral system again. This is the thing that I've done for 20 odd years, and together with Brian Buffini, the guy that I started the business with in South Africa 20 odd years ago, we have trained literally millions of agents and coached thousands and thousands of agents on this particular referral system. We absolutely know that it works. And in fact, I've already had agents start to send testimonials through from just the little bits that we've done at the moment, that they are picking up leads, and some of them have even got offers on some of the leads that they've picked up. So it's good news. What we did in our very first session, you can pick that up on my YouTube channel, is I just talked in general about why working by referral is a good idea, that 66% of all seller leads, the research shows us, come through either a repeat client, someone you've dealt with before, or referral business. And I started to ask myself this question: why have I in recent years been putting so much attention onto video and social media? And while I use that extensively in my own business, and I do believe in it, but I've got to the point where I started thinking, man, let's just get back to basics. Let's get back to the thing that we know absolutely builds profitable real estate businesses for estate agents. And that is working with a group of people that we call your advocates. And I'm going to recommend, as we go through the series, that you have 100 to 300 advocates. 300 is ideal. That's what you're looking for, 300 advocates, but you want to start with at least 100. And I'm going to teach you a communication plan, a keep in touch plan, you might call it, with those advocates. And you will begin to work almost exclusively by referral just from that group of people that you're going to be keeping in touch with. Now, obviously, behind that, there's a lot of work to be done to get to that point. So what we're doing is we're busy breaking that up into manageable action steps, and I give just a little bit of homework after each family time meeting. So family time is every 2 weeks on a Monday morning at 8:30. If you don't have the link, you're welcome to send me an email, and I will send you the link, and I'll give you which date it is coming up next again. So this week, what we looked at was organizing your database. And I said to you that if you're going to work by referral, referrals come from people. You have to have a group of people in your business that you are corresponding with on a regular basis. And as I spoke about in our first session, that correspondence has to have multiple touch types. You can't just send them stuff, just written communication, emails or whatever, or direct mail or WhatsApps. You can't just WhatsApp people and expect to build close relationships of trust with them. You have to combine written communication, which you do send, newsletters and that sort of thing, but you have to combine it with personal contact. So you're going to be making lots of phone calls. You're going to be doing what we call pop bars, which is a face-to-face visit with some of your favorite people, and you're going to pick up a lot of referrals on your pop bars in the months and years to come, hopefully, if you implement the system. So the starting point of all that is to organize your database. So there are going to be 4 steps to organizing your database: build, sort, capture, and prime. And if you've got a pen, maybe you want to write those down, because your homework for the next 2 weeks is going to be that number 1, to build your list. So what is building the list? Well, building the list is making a list. It's going to sound like a very simple exercise, and I'm going to ask you to trust me. We've done this with enough people to know if they shortcut this first step, the results that they get are dramatically reduced. Do not shortcut this first step. Please just trust me. You need to make a list, either written, handwritten, or I'm going to suggest on an Excel spreadsheet. If you're using PropCon, use the PropCon import template. You can download it from PropCon's website, so that once you've built your list, you don't have to rebuild it on an Excel spreadsheet in order to import it into PropCon. Make your initial list in that format on an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so you're going to make a list of every single human being on the planet that you know. And when I say every human being that you know on the planet, I mean every single human being that if you were to pick up your phone and call them and say your first and surname, hey, it's Steve Johnston speaking, they would have some level of recognition. They would kind of know who you were. So that's a big group of people. You can start by actually just going through the contacts folder on your phone. I guarantee you most of you will have over 1,000 names on your phone, just on your phone alone. Then go onto your Instagram profile and work through your followers and the people that you follow. Go through your Facebook friends. You've probably got over 1,000 Facebook friends. So if you do this exercise properly, you could probably make a list of 1,000 to 3,000 people. That's the exercise. You're going to say, yeah, but there's a bunch of people there that I'm never going to keep in touch with. Or there's some people on that list that I don't want to keep in touch with. Like it's the worst client I ever dealt with in my life. The guy was so unethical, he would have robbed the shoes off me if he had the chance. Listen, put his name on the list. Why? Because when you put his name on the list, it'll remind you of the attorney that you were dealing with at the time that kind of helped you out of that situation. Oh yes, the attorney. One name reminds you of another name. This is a brainstorming exercise. I'm going to say it again. Do not jump to step number 2, which you'll remember if you wrote them down. Build, sort, capture, prime. Don't jump to sorting your database before you've made your list. Make a big list first. Okay, now, one last point on this. When you make your big list, make sure you include the following 5 categories of people. Number 1, all your current clients, buyers and sellers that you're currently in contact with. Obviously, they go on the list. And that's an important point, actually. I've seen agents dealing with a current client, a buyer or a seller, and then forgetting that actually this person must also get added to my regular communications. I know I'm talking to them about the deal we're in at the moment, but they must go on my database. They must get my newsletter. I must keep in touch with them after the transaction's complete. They must go on my database. Current clients. Then past clients. So as you sit there, now can you be honest enough to admit that there have been people that you've done business with in the past that you have not kept in touch with like you probably should have? Well, everybody raises their hand to that question because keeping in touch with people is difficult. It requires a strategy. It requires persistence. It requires focus and discipline and some kind of system. So most of us would agree that we've done that. So what you're going to do is somehow, I don't care how you do this, you've got to find the list of all of your past clients. You can go back as far as probably 5 years. If we say people move every 5 years, go back 5 years. So you might need to go back on your computer and find all your old files. Where have you saved all your old transactions? You might have to go onto your calendar on your computer and scroll back week by week by week by week by week. Oh yes, that person. Oh yes, that person. All your past clients go on your list. Number 3, your sphere of influence. What's your sphere of influence? That's just friends, family, people that you have contact with on a regular basis just by living the life that you live. So these will be people that you know from church, or people that you know from your paddle club, or from your book club, or people that you know through community involvement. Let's say people in the local security council. Maybe you're on the security kind of committee in your area, or family members, or just your friends, or people you were at school with. So you need to really rack your brain around who is my sphere of influence? Who are the people that I have contact with regularly anyway? Maybe you've got nothing to do with them on a business level. They still go on your list. You may say to me, but Stephen, I'm going to put my family members on there. I'm going to put my cousin on there. But you know what? I'm never going to actually try to talk business with them and ask for referrals from them. That's fine. Just put them on the list. One name reminds you of another name. I promise you it works that way. When you sort the list, the people that you don't want to keep in touch with, you're going to just sort them off the list. They're going to either be deleted from your database entirely, or they're going to be put onto your B list, which just gets your electronic newsletter once a month. You're not going to be doing all the phone calls and the pop-bys with those people. You get to select who you keep in touch with. That's one of the wonderful things about working by referral. You get to choose who you work with. But for the start, I just want you to make as big a list as you can. So that's third, your sphere of influence. Fourth is allied service providers. please make a list of every business owner that you would potentially refer clients to. Allied services to the real estate industry. So what would an example of an allied service be? So attorneys, accountants, garden maintenance people, security companies, irrigation companies, pool maintenance people, handymen. The list goes on and on and on of the number of industries that benefit from a property transaction. So all the allied service providers, other business owners that you know, go on your list. Again, some of them will end up on your advocate list when you've done the sorting exercise, and then you will be able to enter into a more formal kind of business relationship with those people. And as time goes by, we will get into the allied service provider strategy. Then the last of the 5 categories of people you must put on your list is other estate agents. If you haven't watched Brad and Neil's talk from the Build conference this year, that's 2024, please go and watch it. It's like 17 minutes. It is absolutely brilliant. He went through the 3 things that are making him so successful. And one of them was working with other estate agents. He said he used to treat other estate agents as almost like they had the plague, but now he's learned that by opening his listings and welcoming other agents into his community, it actually has benefited his business. So every other estate agent, whether they are EXP agents or not EXP agents, doesn't matter. Put all the other estate agents that you know on your list. Okay, that's it. That's your homework for the next 2 weeks until the next family time meeting. Go and make your list, and then we're going to get into how to sort that list in the next meeting. So God bless you, and go get them.